Back Through the Stargate.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Back Through the Stargate. It is I, your Honorable Admiral Fuzzy Nuts, sitting here with my good friend
G-Raj. Yay! Hey, why are you carrying that fish around? For the halibut.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes mild. Nuts.
You know what I've been thinking about a lot lately?
What's that, buddy?
I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot.
What's that?
Shit that I grew up with, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like you got like Spyro, you got fucking Transformers, all that shit. You know.
Yeah, a lot of our stuff was the same. Even though we were 16 years apart, we still, a lot of shit was the same. Because there's Transformers, G.I. Joe, all that shit made it through all the, decades.
Sands of time.
But there's a bunch of fucking IPs that just disappeared.
They just
went away. They had a little bit of a cartoon. They got toys, and then they were just like, "Fuck it."
The crowd went mild.
Yeah, that's it, and it was just over.
Out.
But it's funny because there's a bunch of IPs that they came out one and done, and they were gone. No cartoons, none of this. But we've had like 50 Spider-Man cartoons, like 100 Batman cartoons.
Oh yeah,
it just keeps coming and coming with all these.
Nobody
things.
talks about the Mask cartoon.
Mask or fucking Inhumanoids, which is one of my favorite toys as I was a kid. It was a bunch of monsters, and that just disappeared through time.
I had
only us remember it.
I remember the Humanoids.
Yeah, they were giant toys. They were like 3 foot tall.
Giant fucking action figures with.
Well, no, maybe not that big. Maybe. Foot and a half tall.
They were big.
Yeah, they're pretty huge. Compared to like a G.I. Joe, it's huge. I'm gonna tell you about it now.
All right.
You ready? So we're gonna get into we're gonna talk about the IPs and franchises and toys and shit you had when you were a kid in the 80s and 90s that nobody talks about anymore. The kinds that just disappeared. It's kind of a one and done almost. And you want them to bring it back, but they just never did. Like
there's like no incentive to bring it back. Like your nostalgia is the only reason to bring it back. Like it wouldn't stand.
Yeah, like even He-Man was really close to disappearing, and then they brought it back. G.I. Joe was a '60s thing. They brought it back.
Hell, even Star Wars at one point in time kind of fizzled out. You weren't really finding any Star Wars.
Then they did that Shadows of the Empire, and then it got traction again.
That's the thing. Like, but you got a lot of people who remember these things.
Yeah. We remember them.
Rose-colored glasses,
exactly,
nostalgia.
Yeah. And it's like, why didn't anybody take that up and bring that back?
Exactly.
And like try to do it. So there's something called Inhumanoids.
They a lot of these franchises, not all of them.
It could have been
a lot of the ones that
huge.
we're talking about. They had cartoons that came with them. Like some of them lasted a long time, some of them didn't. Like another one that I didn't put it on the list, but like Street Sharks. Huge toy line. Had a mildly successful cartoon that lasted like 3 seasons. Nobody talks about it.
That's an episode in itself, talking about all the turtle knockoffs.
Yeah, Ninja Turtle knockoffs.
Yeah, which comes from and Ninja Turtles are Daredevil knockoffs, so it all goes back to Daredevil.
It all comes back to Marvel, like it always does.
Like it always does. But I'm going to tell you about Inhumanoids. All right?
What's your favorite Inhumanoid?
My favorite Inhumanoids was Motlar. He was, I think Motlar was his name. It was 2 rocks. It was a guy, he was standing with his hands up on his side, and you pulled off the front of him, and one was like on fire, and the other was a rock dude. But, no, he was like lava dude, they made of rock.
Like half
but the front of it was just like a thin piece of plastic. So you just pulled off the front of it. But it was a cool toy as a kid. I liked it a lot. But
that was his favorite Inhumanoid. They had all kinds, at least 15 different action
They
figures?
had about 15, and then they were gonna go for a second line where one of them was like, it had one eye, and it was like a gator looking thing, but it was blue, and it had a clear stomach where you'd be able to like see the blood inside.
Yeah.
The parents groups were really against this.
They didn't like them
cartoon. Put it this way, in the first cartoon, Decompose which was like the skeleton-looking monster.
That's an awesome name
He
for a
grabbed the
cartoon.
chick in the Earth Corps team and scratched her face, and she turned into a monster. And she just died the first
80s
episode. You're like, oh
parents
shit.
80s parents groups having a fucking field day. This was like the whole Satanic Panic era and all that too.
The parents groups are freaking out over this show. But Inhumanoids is titled of an animated series in the name of a Hasbro toy property. They were both released in 1986. The same company that did Transformers and G.I. Joe. The show was produced by Sumbo Entertainment, Marvel Productions, and animated in Japan by
Marvel.
Toei Animation.
It all comes back to Marvel.
It all comes back to Marvel.
It all comes back to Marvel.
Inhumanoids tells the story of a scientist hero group, the Earth Corps, as they battle a trio of subterranean monsters called the Inhumanoids, with the aid of eternal elemental beings, the Mutors.
The Mutoids.
Which was a bunch of trees. And if you turn the thing around, it just looked like a tree, but you could telescope the toy up.
It
and it looked like a tree. Yeah, it looked like a monster
awesome.
tree. Yeah, they were great toys, man.
They don't make toys like this anymore.
Basically, there was 3 main monsters. The Meltar was the fucking main guy. He looked like the Red Devil.
Yeah.
That guy. He was stuck, and then they accidentally released Tendril, which was the green, like tendril looking guy. He has
Tentacle monster.
Tentacle monster. He's green and he's huge. And I've seen the toy in like a bunch of movies in the 80s. If you look at if they ever see a kid's bedroom in the movies,
there's gonna be
a fucking Inhumanoid in there, and it's usually fucking
the tendril guy.
Yeah, he fucking so they go and he gets decomposed because they find him in amber, and they bring him to some museum, and he breaks out and starts killing motherfuckers,
shit.
turning people into zombies and shit. And the toy, his ribcage open, and you could stuff one of the Earth Corps guys in there. But the Earth Corps guys were kind of silly looking. The one guy has 2 bumps on his head. He looks like, hey, Tithead, go with my father. He looks like that guy.
Nicky.
Yeah, it looks like that guy. Hey, Tithead, go with my father. Hey! Fucking.
Hey, what you got going on?
Hey, can I take him with me? Yeah, Tithead, go with my father. But yeah. And so basically they were going down, and the elemental guys were fucking pissed off that they woke up the monsters, because the rock dude that I like, Moltar, he was sitting there, and they were keeping in Metlar, and then they broke him out and shit. So the humans and them had to work together.
Oh shit.
And then there was this really cool guy. He had like a skull face, but it only ran for 13 episodes because it started off as a cartoon movie. So instead of playing the movie, they broke it up into 5-minute, 8-minute segments.
Yeah.
So they played it. They'd play that with Gem and the Holograms and Bigfoot and the Monster Truck Show.
Like the Godzilla Power Hour.
Yeah.
With the Thing cartoon.
Yep. It had a Monster Truck, a Bigfoot show. Bigfoot had his own show. If anybody
Thing
didn't know.
ring, do your thing. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Silly. And then after that, everybody liked it so much, the toys sold well. Not like Star Wars level well, but pretty good.
So the cartoon
in
did its job.
in 1986, to sell any fucking toys, you were doing okay.
Exactly.
The competition was steep. So they gave them a total of 13 episodes.
And innumerable toys. Yeah. Innumerable toys.
The Inhumanoids were Metlar, decomposed Tendril. You had George fucking, a bunch of these motherfuckers. I didn't really like I said, it was one toy line. I really liked the monsters. I didn't really like I said.
Yeah, you don't like the
one dude had like clamps for hands, and the other guy had a tit.
Clamps.
Yeah, the clamps, boss, the clamps. And the other guy had like a tit head, and I didn't really like him. But
Francis Clamps, Clamp Pots.
They had comics in #87. They had a lot. Like I said, there was a bunch of toys, and they were gonna go with another like second line, but then they just stopped it.
Yeah, they just discontinued
it. It just disappeared.
It just fell off.
But the series is basically about the giant monsters running around and then stop. You know what I mean?
it
wasn't
turned
anything.
it
wasn't
went from
anything
being
deep, yeah.
about the monsters to being about the people. They went the Godzilla route, but yet fucking Inhumanoids.
No,
man.
Inhumanoids is pretty good, man. Like I said, I wish somebody would have.
I wish they
took
did
that
toys.
and moved it.
They don't really do toys anymore.
No, they really don't.
Like you don't see
Because
a
the
lot
second
of toys.
line of toys, I've seen stills from what they were supposed to be. There was a guy he had like a skull face and like a whip hand.
Yeah.
It was I forget his name was Ravenwood or something. He was
Ravenwood.
Ravenlock. Raiden or something. He was the main bad guy, and then he ended up getting fucked up, and he became an Inhumanoid himself.
Oh,
And then he was walking around with that thing you could see inside his stomach. But like I said, they canceled it because I guess they were just tired of getting grief from the parents.
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't really. The whole point of the cartoons, like for most of these toy lines, are just to sell the toys.
Yeah.
The cartoon is secondary, but yeah, fucking, it's like me. Like they got you ever hear of creepy crawlers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Creepy crawlers,
Yeah.
like
I
a
remember
little
seeing the
oven.
commercials. Yeah.
You make little like rubber toys. You
Oh,
put
yeah,
you put the
yeah.
fucking molds in the fucking. Like you put the liquid in the die cast mold, you put it in the oven. It was like an easy bake oven for boys.
For
that
boys,
you didn't
yeah.
fucking, that you didn't.
You don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
Yeah.
Like they say it was not toxic, but there was lead in it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to
You know
that.
it
But
was.
it started off as like a toy in the 1960s called the Thing Maker. The Thing Maker had a bunch of it ran from the 60s to like the early 80s, and they had all kinds of things that you could make with the Thing Maker. All kinds of things. Like you had the giant creepy crawlers in 1965, the first iteration of it. You just made bugs. Like you would make little bugs in these aluminum molds, and then like fighting men.
Yeah, I remember they were like red and blue and purple.
Creeple people. This 5 mold set formed strange heads, arms, and feet. When assembled onto a pencil, they formed a weird troll-like creature.
Oh, that'd be cool as shit
Yeah.
in school. Be like,
They had
yeah.
all kinds of stuff, like cartoons, like Charlie Brown, fucking Snoopy, Lucy, a lot of the Peanuts. You make little dolls, fucking Eeks, little mini dragons, all kinds of stuff. But the ones that I grew up with were the creepy crawlers, and you can make weird bug hybrids. It went out of business, the Thing Maker, and then they brought it back under Toy Max in the 1990s, 1992 to be specific, as creepy crawlers, and it was marketed to be able to make like little creepy bugs, and it came out with a cartoon, which
that's awesome.
ran for it ran from 1994. It had 2 seasons, 23 episodes
2 seasons.
total.
That's good for
Yeah.
those you listening at home. That's very good for a toy line.
It is very
Sometimes
good for
they only
a toy
get like
line
4
cartoon.
episodes.
Exactly. And the release is a special with the fucking toy. But the show is about a dude named Chris Carter, a self-described normal kid who is interested in magic while working at a workshop owned by a bitter, discredited stagehand
Goddamn
illusionist.
fucking magician.
His name is Professor Guggenheim. That is an awesome name.
I am Professor Guggenheim.
The dude created a device known as the Magic Maker that was able to mix creatures together for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
They,
that's cool.
they ended up getting fucking.
Yeah, because you could put 2 different colors in it and make different colored bugs, right?
Yeah, it was think like Power Rangers, but they got mixed with bugs.
Oh, okay,
you
yeah.
know? You got the Goop Mandos with Chris Carter, our titular protagonist, and a bunch of other people who were all mixed with bugs. Chris, you got Sammy Reynolds. She gets mixed with a fucking what the fuck? Whoever wrote this article doesn't know English,
right?
But Chris and Sammy are just like they're like the leaders of the group.
Okay.
And then you got Volt Jolt, created from a floating light bulb based on a lightning bug.
And they're fighting a stagehand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Created from a deck of playing cards and mixed with a tick. They got T3. It's just a deck of cards use a tick now for some fucking reason.
Okay.
Hocus Locust, created from ropes
Hocus
they use in
Locus
rope
Pocus.
tricks mixed with the locust, who the dunkets, and Stingray. Born from those connecting rings, like, ooh, look, now they're separated. It mixed with a wasp. But yeah, it was cool when I was a kid. The toys were cool. I burnt the fuck out of myself
bet,
on that
yeah,
thing
like,
so
yeah.
many times. They got recalled because
I
it was
bet
a
they
very
did.
dangerous toy. They were
It's
setting
like
on fire.
in Arrested Development, the cornballer. Son of a bitch.
Exactly,
Son of a
just like
bitch.
that. Just like that. But yeah, it was fucking. I thought it was cool when I was a kid, and the cartoon was fun.
Nah.
No, like it sounds stupid when you explain it, but so do most cartoons. Like two beaver brothers who moved out on their own, and now they have to learn how to be beavers. It sounds kind of like it sounds nothing like Angry Beavers, but that's what it's about.
Exactly. Or Garbage Pail Kids had a cartoon and a movie, and I love
They
the
did.
movie.
I'm surprised you didn't put that on your list.
Well, because everybody knows about it.
They don't know about the
We can
cartoon,
do
though.
everything by working with each other.
True. True.
Everybody knows that movie.
We can't.
Everybody hates it, but I
It's
like
a terrible
it.
movie.
Why are you trying to be a fashion designer? What the fuck's the matter with you?
Garbage Pail Kids, man.
Yeah, me and my brother in the theater, like, what the fuck's he trying to do?
What is he doing?
Yeah, what the fuck's going on?
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on Creepy Crawlers.
Yeah, no, I remember that. That must have been fun as shit as a kid, yeah.
They did have like a couple collaborations, like they collaborated with Batman, Spider-Man, Toy Story, fucking this, and this is all before it was all owned by fucking Disney and Warner Brothers, fucking. But they collaborated with a lot of stuff. They have Pokemons.
You said that thing about the rope and the thing. It reminded me. Did you ever see Diaper Man and Rope Man and Chicken Man?
Yes.
That's a weird thing. I have no idea what that's called, but I remember the dude that he was sucking on a bottle, and then he became a big dude still in a diaper.
Was that Mad Magazine?
No, it was like PBS, I think, Sesame Street.
PBS?
It was like, yeah, I think it was on Sesame Street.
I don't think that's That doesn't sound like Sesame
I remember
Street.
watching it on PBS, I think, back
It could have
in the
been
day.
PBS. It could have been one
Well,
of
if
those
anybody
weird
knows,
variety
hit us
shows.
up in the comments and let us know what Diaper Man, Rope Man, and Chicken Man we're from.
We're gonna include this in a Lost Media fucking episode, dude. We're gonna include it. What is this? Lost Media people get on
You
this.
remember the guy that turned into Rope, the guy that was wearing a diaper.
I remember the Diaper Man.
Yeah,
I
the
remember
diaper dude. He always had a
Man.
bottle and shit.
You unlocked the vault, and I don't know where the vault is.
Yeah,
man, so
I was
can't
just saying
check it.
that just popped in my head when you said that.
Diaper Man, Rope Man, Baby Man.
But I had toys when I was a kid where
He had toys when he was a kid. People, fucking hot take.
hot take.
Toys when he was.
But it was a puppet, and it looked like a giant spider, or a giant dragonfly, or a giant flying spider. I had a
puppet.
Yeah, it was a hand puppet. You put it in there. It was called a
puppet.
sectar. And it looked like a spider, and you got an action figure that sat on top of it. They got a cartoon and everything. It
That
ran
sounds cool
for a
as
while.
shit,
Yeah, it was
dude.
fun as shit.
What the hell was this called?
Because it was called sectars.
Oh yeah, he just said
Sectars,
that.
warriors.
Sorry, Chad.
Yeah, warriors of Sibian.
That sounds awesome.
And they
dude.
named that sex toy Sibian. That's why I always think of that. I'm like, oh, Sibian. That's not what it's for.
That's not what it was meant to be. They ruined it. Just like everything that exists, they turned it into
The
porn.
concept originated with puppet designer Tim Clark, who attended a Halloween party in 1978.
Get ready, furries. They're making a
Disliking wearing
Zootopia, too.
Halloween masks, Clark instead created a hand puppet modeled after a fly. Years later, Clark brought the same hand puppet into a meeting with Lawrence Mass. Mass loved the idea and suggested pairing it with an action figure.
Oh shit.
So, and
That's
the
a good
premise
idea.
for the whole, like, the plot of the story or whatever is.
This franchise might not have lasted a long time, but that dude just made millions of dollars.
Oh, he
with that
did.
dude.
Like, that's a
Go.
great. That would be a fun. Plus you go over and like touch the girl's titty, be like, fly on the titty. You know.
Oh,
What I mean?
hey, get out of here. Thanks. I just saved your life. That
I
was a big
kidding.
fly.
I was just kidding, ladies.
That was a big
That was
life.
just fun.
Big fly.
I'd never do that. But no, this guy's genius. But no, I remember I was my communion. I think I went to Catholic school. I got my communion, and I got Moss Man, Stinkor, and I got a Sector. And it was fun as shit, just flying around in my hand puppet thing, because he had furry arms and legs, and it was a flying spider. There was a dragonfly, and
That's
the
cool as
premise
shit,
for it
though.
is somewhere in space, somewhere in time, a planet called Sibian is the site of a failed genetic experiment. Frightening changes take place that cannot be stopped. The result is a world where insects and arachnids grow to frightening proportions, and inhabitants have taken on their characteristics. Prince Dargon, ruler of the peaceful shrining realm of Prosperion, and his allies. They didn't really try on the names on this fucking
They
thing
really
at all.
didn't, but you didn't have to back then.
Yeah, they kind of phoned it in.
It's this easy, Hollywood.
And his allies are in conflict with the forces of Eberus Devora, ruler of the dark domain of Synax, and her henchmen. The two factions rout each other over possession of the hives fortress of an ancient civilization holding the key to ultimate power. Each character has telebonded with intelligent, non-anthropomorphic insect creatures called insectoids. That's a great name. You found that, didn't you?
Insectoids.
They had a
You
special,
thought all night on that one.
They had a special ability. Characters and the insectoids shared each other's pleasure and pain, feeling empathy through a telepathic link. He's getting it on with his old lady, and the spiders in the window, like pawing out the window. No, it was really fun because they had a cartoon, and some of the characters are, like I said, Dargon, Pinsor. He had a beetle. There was a Dargon. He had the dragonfly. Zach.
Yeah. That's a sci-fi.
He had an action bug with biting action.
Real biting action.
Mantor. He was the Tarantula, I think.
Mantor.
And Stellar was a female warrior.
Damn, man.
And
it was so easy back in the day.
Spydrak was the flying spider, the one I had, General Spydrak. Then there was Skulk. He was a tarantula. A spider-like tarantula, an extremely furry steed with biting mandibles.
A tarantula.
Yeah. It's like the cartoon ran for a season. Like I said, the cartoon only ran for one season. I loved it. All my friends loved it. We all had sectors. We played together and shit.
Hey man, did you see Sector last night?
Yeah, and it's just like in Humanoids. I had them, my friends had them. It's just, to me in the 80s, it was just as popular as He-Man and Star Wars.
People want to say that the fad of having cartoons accompany a toy line is dead and it's over, but I beg to differ because Pokemon is still fucking going. They got like 2 different TV shows going on right now.
Yep.
And everybody still loves Pokemon, and that is literally just to promote fucking the games. And cards.
You're leaving money on the table.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you can have domination.
Make something good of substance, really.
Exactly.
Like Sectors would be a great. I heard they're trying to have a Hasbro universe where Sectors, Visionaries, and all them guys come back together, but I'll believe it when I see it. I heard about it like 4 or 5 years ago.
Hasbro's been trying to get this Hasbro's been trying to get this fucking cinematic universe off the ground since 2008, man.
Maybe once Mattel does it, because Mattel had Barbie and they're coming out with He-Man, and I hope He-Man does well.
Have you seen Battleship?
Oh, Battleship was great.
I hated that movie.
Nah, everybody did, but let's see, for them to write a story about a game that is Battleship, I think they did a fucking A-OK job.
I mean,
like, let's see, if I was like,
true, they had like,
if I said to you,
material to work with, like, the game company just gave them the board
game,
and they're like, make this into a movie, and they're just like,
I thought, I applauded them because they had the force fields, which means you had to, once they set their ships, they had to stay. Bang, you stayed in line with the game. That gave you an excuse why you wouldn't move. And then you sang my Battleship. He said it. Fucking, you nailed it, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, what else did you want from a Battleship movie?
Pretty sure that was the movie that ended Gambit's career.
People expect too much from movies and what's going on. It's a fucking movie about Battleship. We've all played Battleship.
No, I'm not in the camp of it should have been better. I'm in the camp of it shouldn't have been made in the first place.
Well, yes, but they're making an 8-Ball movie. What the fuck is that going to be about?
I don't know. It's going to be a horror movie, though, I bet. I bet it's going to be a horror movie.
Okay, so you're going to make a movie. I at least want to see somebody be like, am I going to live? The chances are unlikely. Oh, shit.
Fucking piano falls
on their head. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Fucking tell me the truth.
That would be horrible, but I would love that movie.
This fucking,
every ounce
but this is one of the things, like I said, this Sectors and Inhuman was just as popular as everything else. It just went away.
You know what Sky Dancers are, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's heard of Sky Dancers.
Fire Dancers.
Yeah, you just rip the cord, they fly off the pedestal, fly up, take a kid's eye out, you know. Everybody remembers Sky Dancers. They were subject to the recall. Yeah. What a lot of people don't remember are fucking dragonflies, which are the same thing, made by the same company, but for guys.
Okay.
For boys. Like, we had them. They were cool. They were like a little dude. Instead of like a little pedestal, they had a dragon. And each character had their own dragon that they would go into, and you would rip them off, and they had the fucking, the big ass fucking wings, and they would do the same thing, but they were cool looking. They had sets of armor. And this had a cartoon that went with it too.
I didn't know they had a cartoon.
I'll read the rundown for the cartoon.
Did they have a cartoon for the girl version too? I'm sure they did.
So.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister liked it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they did. I could be misremembering.
I think my daughter had that show.
Probably, I could see that. But this is a fucking animated television series created by Saban Yateman and produced by Gaumont Multimedia in association with Abrams and Gentile Entertainment. Never heard of any of these.
Nope.
The series, based on the toy line, ran for 2 seasons in syndication in the United States and Europe from 96 to 97. And it had a total of 26 episodes, which once again, surprising. 2 fucking seasons, dude. It lasted for a while, and it was actually on
that's
TV.
Pretty good. Like I said, 2 seasons is really good in the toy line. Sometimes they don't even make it to 8 episodes.
This is the most blatant, like, I made this TV show for this toy line show
ever. Yeah.
Ever. To the point where the Encyclopedia of American Animated Television Shows, which exists, it exists. It's written by David Perlmutter. These names, dude. I swear, we're in a video game, and this is just a Skyrim book, dude.
Yeah,
but,
right?
He called it a very transparent ad for a toy line. Much like some of the other productions of this entire studio. Fucking apparently they did the same thing. It's like, oh, you got toys, we'll make a cartoon for you. Pay us this money, we'll get you a cartoon at least 2 seasons.
Well, usually when they're trying to launch the cartoon, they're like, oh, well, what do you have with this toy line? And they're like, oh, a cartoon. And they're like, cool. And then they have to go out and get one real quick.
So, the plot for this. Bear with me. I'm reading this. Yeah. And we're learning these things together.
What plot did they pull out of their ass when the guy threw a toy at him and was like, here, make a toy, make a story for this.
Yes. The setting is a post-apocalyptic version of Earth in the 41st century.
41st, okay.
The disaster responsible for the world's state is called the Cataclysm original, and is implied to have been caused by nuclear warfare. It was the 90s. Cold War tensions are still going.
Duck and cover under your desk.
Exactly.
Whatever you do, don't ever watch the movie Threads or The Day After.
The cataclysm caused the extinction of most of the Earth's inhabitants, ecosystems, and species. The planet's surface has become barren and volcanic, with rivers of lava running across it. The surface world is mostly uninhabitable, with the exception of animals which have adapted to the environment. The surviving human population lives in the floating city of Airlandis.
Oh man, they really thought about that one.
The series follows the adventures of the Dragon Riders as they fight for world domination. The Riders are either human or belong to a race resembling reptiles, gargoyles, and demons. From Airlandis, the Dragonators, as they're called. They ride the dragons. They're the Dragonators. Regularly travel to the surface to retrieve amber, which is a source of fuel and is usually obtained from lava pools or directly from the ground. It is also shown that some humans escaped the cataclysm aboard a space station on which the protagonist's mother now resides.
Do they spin around in a circle to get places?
No, they ride on dragons.
Oh, okay.
They can fly on their own using the spinny thing like helicopters, but only for short distances.
Okay. So they say that for when they're in trouble.
The main characters ride dragons for travel and combat, but also have the ability to fly short distances. They use dragonfly-like wings known as exo wings that sprout from the backplate of their armor, while Dreadwing, the bad guys, and his minions, the Draymen, sprout membranous wings from their shoulders. Both types of wings disappear when not in use.
Did you have one when you were a kid?
I had a couple.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I had a couple of these as a kid, and I did watch the TV show, and I got to where they got to the space station, and I didn't see any more. But it sounds weird, but it was a decent show.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, it's you get a good toy. It's your cartoon. You get a good comfort show. You know what I mean? That's just awesome. Doesn't matter where.
They had their own backstories on the boxes back in the day. They had their own backstories. Each of the fucking Dragonators had their own dragons that had their own abilities.
Yeah, because it goes to show you, like, to us as adults, it's just a piece of plastic that looks like a dude, but to a kid, there's a whole world in there.
Yeah, it's like you can make your own adventures. It's your own TV show. Back in the day, we had this thing called imagination.
Yeah,
it's a scarce resource nowadays. Yeah. But like,
I had epic adventures. I used to like bury my action figures because they died and shit.
yeah,
like,
and then you come back
epic.
later.
I made like movies. You know what I mean?
You'd make your own like little dioramas, and you just put the toys in there, and you're like, "I'm gonna get you, Dirty Dan."
Come here, it's a juggling. But anyway,
hey, y'all, come here.
I know. Do you know what the rarest toy of the 80s is?
What is the rarest toy of the 80s?
Dinosaurs. Because it was a cartoon that was on all the time. Everybody loved it. And they only made a little bit of toys.
They only made
because they didn't know
toys.
if anybody would make it. But the cartoon was over. And it,
by the time you got the toys,
by the time you got the toys, nobody knew that the toys were out. So nobody really bought them, and they kind of came. They went on the shelves. Nobody bought them, and they went. So if anybody you know has a dinosaur toys, it's they're fucking rich because they're
rich?
very. Dude, you can get one. They're expensive, really expensive. They're a couple $100 a piece,
damn,
even loose. Yeah,
damn.
they're
Without the
they're
box,
rare. Yeah, they're rare.
Just the action figure missing an arm, $300.
Yeah, they're very rare.
Dino saucers, man. What's the cartoon about?
All right, well, basically they're about a bunch of anamorphic two-legged dinosaurs, but if they hit a button on their chest, they turn into old school dinosaurs. They go all
they
primitive.
turn into actual dinosaurs.
Yeah, like the one guy's like a brontosaurus, and then like a plesiosaurus, and then he hits this button, and then boom, goes on all fours.
That's awesome.
The other guy's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Nice.
And then he turns in, and he's the bad guy, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then the Triceratops, he's one of the good guys. He'll go all like they hit a button.
Of course, it's always the T-Rex.
They had a really cool theme song, Dinosaurs. But the plot basically is it follows the dinosaurs in their battles against the evil Tyrannos. Each group is composed of intelligent anamorphic dinosaurs and other prehistoric sauron species. Because there's a flying one or two. The dinosaurs are also allied with 4 humans known as the Secret Scouts. The two groups originally come from a planet in a counter-Earth orbit known as Reptilion. Most of the characters are named after
Was it made by the High Evolutionary?
Yeah, they're named after a type of prehistoric animal they're based on, or some pun of the name.
Nice.
So, like I said, they would just sit there. There's Allo. He's the leader.
Allosaurus.
Yeah, he's an Allosaurus. There's Demetrio.
Demetrius.
Yeah,
no,
he's
Demetro.
He's the scientist of the group. Yeah, Demetrodon. There's Bronto Thunder.
I wonder what he is. Is he a fucking T-Rex?
He's a Brontosaurus, even though they don't exist.
Brachiosauruses are the ones that don't exist.
There's Stego, an evolved Stegosaurus. Trico, Bonehead, Icky,
Ichthyosaurus.
Terry X.
But
it was a cool cartoon.
All kinds of different dinosaurs.
Basically, they would go and
fight crime.
They'd fight. No, the bad dinosaurs would be trying to they'd align with bad guys and try to take out the humans because they wanted to take over Earth because puny human. We shouldn't have to listen to them. We're better than them. And then the dinosaurs were like, we should live together. It was a pretty good clone of Transformers.
Yeah.
I would say that same cartoon.
Yeah, trying to follow the vein of
one had dinosaurs, but it was really cool to have talking dinosaurs be like, okay, I'm gonna go beastie and kick ass, and they hit the button and they go, oh. But like I said, dinosaurs was really, really fun.
It reminds me of this cartoon that I watched. It was like if anything, it was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but also like a Street Sharks ripoff. They teamed up with the Street Sharks. They were like these dinosaur things. I can't remember what the name of the show was. I don't remember what it was about. All I remember is that there was a talking velociraptor that spit acid from its mouth. That's all I remember.
Oh, well, the Turtles had the Triceratops, a bunch of them.
Yeah, but those were aliens.
Yeah.
But these were they were teenage kids that got transformed into these dinosaurs or something to that effect.
No, I know what you're talking about, but that is Street Sharks. It was just the second wave that they made.
Yeah, but it had its own standalone TV show. I don't remember what it's called though.
Because I remember Tiger Sharks.
Yeah.
That was the same people who made Silverhawks and Thundercats. They made Tiger Sharks.
Yeah.
That's a rare one that people really don't know about. They made toys and everything.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
There's one in there.
The porpoise chick was hot. than I thought when I was a kid.
I'm noticing a trend here. A lot of the TV shows and cartoons that you had were like more physical things, but then like you go into like the 90s and everything's digital.
No,
like,
because that's when computers started and everything was like, in a digital age and this and that. You know what I mean? Computer this, computer that.
Like you had like Teddy Ruxpin. I had fucking Furbies.
Well, as a kid, it was a special pleasure putting the Ozzy tape in the Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, when you were a kid, you had Pet Rocks. When I was a kid, I had Tamagotchis. And
how fucking old do you think I am? I didn't have Pet Rock. That's the 70s.
You had
thing,
Pet
bro.
Dinosaur.
I had My Pet Monster.
Yeah,
that's what
I
had.
had. Fucking,
for anybody to know, it was a stuffed animal. It came with orange handcuffs that if you put them on, you could break them apart like you were strong. So as a kid, you could be like, I'm fucking Superman. You know what I mean? It was a cool toy.
But like, the 90s had Tamagotchis. And Tamagotchis were really popular.
Girls
fucking
digital pets.
Tamagotchis.
No, I remember the big fat
they'd all have
Tamagotchis.
them, like 5 of them clipped to their backpacks.
I had one for a little bit, and then I ended up giving it to somebody because because I didn't want to just like throw it in my drawer and forget about it. I felt kind of guilty because I was feeding and taking care of the thing. So I was like, "Here, you want this?" to somebody, and they took it. I think it was my little cousin I gave it to.
But all the girls had the Tamagotchis. They all had their little fucking things in there, and then all the boys were like, "That's cool, but I don't want to do that because that's for girls." So they made the digital monsters.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I
had,
awesome. Which turned into Digimon, but digital monsters is different. All right, it is Digimon.
It evolved into
but
it.
But it
started
Digimon.
off. Okay,
it's
now I got
proto Digimon because it came out. It was made by fucking Wiz and Bandai, and it's like I said, spawned the Digimon franchise. But it was a masculine counterpart to the Tamagotchi, which was deemed, itself the Tamagotchi deemed more appropriate for girls.
Yeah.
But you did everything you did with the Tamagotchi. You'd take care of it, and you'd sit there, you'd raise it, and it would start off as an egg, then it'll turn into a little blob that turns into your digital monster. And then you raise that digital monster, and you can train it. And you train it, it gets new forms, and you can hook them up, which I thought was cool as shit. Like you could do it in the new Digivices now, but you could hook them up to each other with your buddy and fight and battle them.
That's awesome.
And if your Digimon died, it would start over, but your Digimon could die, and you'd have to reset the whole system to get a new one. But in the same vein as digital monsters, you also had the fucking, if you were a poor kid like me, like at first you could get a Gigapet. Gigapets were made by Tiger Electronics. Everybody loves those little fucking LCD video games that everyone plays. But
they're big in the 90s and 80s.
It was created to, in the same vein, it was created to compete with the Tamagotchi. It came out in 1997, like right in the middle of the fad. And it had a little LCD screen, and you would raise your Gigapet, and they're bored.
No, I remember them. There was also you had the blocks with a stick figure in it. They were you could hook them together.
Oh, those were different. Those were cool. I liked those.
Yeah.
You saw they popped up for like a month.
Yeah, and they went away.
They were so cool. Like you'd see one swinging through it.
Yeah, trying to go from one box to the other.
A little fucking apartment complex.
Yeah,
that was cool as shit.
Yeah.
And they just disappeared.
They were like Tamagotchi.
That's pretty much the same thing. But the difference between Gigapets, Tamagotchis, and digital monsters, Digimon, is that the Gigapets, you get like actual animals. Like you get a baby T-Rex that hatches from an egg. You get a little kitty that gets delivered by a stork. They would yell at you, so it would beep and make noises, yell at you like, "Hey, I'm hungry," or like, "Hey, I'm bored." And but the average they had lifespans, unlike the Digimon and the Tamagotchi. The Gigapets had lifespans. It could range anywhere. Like the average lifespan for them was 2 weeks. But if you really took care of it, like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple that
are still alive
to this day. Change the battery.
I could see somebody just keeping it alive because it's just something they do every day.
This is my Gigapet. I've had him since 1997.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
and he's the last living.
She downloads. She knows computers, so she downloads it into a bigger computer. So
like, it's fake. Yeah, it lives like right in the computer. Like
she gives it AI, and that's what's taking over the world right now. It's a Tamagotchi.
But yeah, dude, like these things were cool as shit. Like
Yeah,
I want to buy one.
You
I
know
want to
what?
get
You know
a
what
new
that
one.
reminded me of? Remember PlayStation where you raised that fish dude?
Seaman.
Yeah, Seaman is like that
Seaman.
fish person. You're like
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, like what the fuck am I watching?
And it's looking at it looks at you because like it had a microphone and it would hear you talk and you'd be like, "What the fuck are you?" And he'd look at you and be like, "What are you?" Watch his mouth.
Yeah.
And it's Leonard Nimoy yelling at you. So you
I'm
gotta
saying,
listen
you're like,
to him.
hey, what? Nanu, motherfucker.
There's a lot of franchises out there, though, man. And you know what? I think we could do a part 2 of this. What do
We
you
should
think?
do a part 2.
We're gonna
because
do a part 2.
I got
like 4 more.
me too. I got a bunch, man.
Yeah, we don't.
And I would
want
just
this
have to
run a
say,
little
I
too
was
long.
researching this, and one of the ones that I wanted to talk about as a boy, they had Boglins in the girls category, and I'm like, that is the commercial. It's a hand puppet where you could actually move its eyes and its mouth, and it was a really good puppet. And it was 4 boys to gross out their sister and shit. It was like, I don't know why I kept in all these forums. It's like, oh, it's girls' toy, and I was like, what the fuck? No,
like,
it's
no.
not.
It was marketed for boys. I guess the girls just liked it more.
But we should do a part 2 on this
We're
because
gonna do a part
I got a
2.
bunch that I'd like
And
to
this
talk
video
about.
is running on really long already as it is.
So yeah, that's
right?
Lost Franchises.
That's Lost Franchises.
So
part
you know,
1.
like I said, everybody's got that. You know, hit us up in the comments. Let us know if you got any weird,
Lost
obscure franchises that you haven't seen.
toy lines that you
Yeah.
loved growing up that nobody talks about
Yep.
anymore.
That just
you
went
feel
away.
like you're crazy because you're the only one that remembers.
Yeah,
Leave it in the
you try to
comments.
tell people like the time I was in Catholic school and I was like, they're like, oh, name a movie with Jesus in it. I was like, oh, did anybody ever see? And I'm in 2nd grade, so I'm like, did anybody ever see that time Jesus was on the cross and he was singing with his buddies who were also on the cross, and then a spaceship came down and picked them up and they flew away, and the whole class looked at me like I had 3 fucking heads. They were like, no, Mike, I don't know that movie. And it was like 10 years later, I saw Life of Brian on TV. I'm like, holy shit, I wasn't crazy.
This
I
is
did
that
see
movie.
it. I did see that. You
It
know
was
what I
fucking.
mean?
It was Life
Like,
of Brian.
because
Monty
they
Python.
fooled me into thinking I didn't see that.
That's my favorite Monty Python movie. Everybody
is.
talks about the Holy Grail. Watch Life of Brian.
Life of Brian's hilarious.
Fucking
man.
classic.
But yeah, I got gaslighted motherfucker for 10 years because we didn't have the internet to look it up. I was
You were
just-
this
I was
close to getting excommunicated
Yeah,
out of church,
it was.
Mike.
Yeah, but you should have saw the
Gosh.
look. I look back at it now and I laugh at the looks everybody was, because I still can picture it in my head. It was just like,
They probably all saw Life of Brian. And
Yeah.
like, holy shit, he was in line.
yeah. I hope they all saw it as they got older. Like, holy shit, that crazy dude was not crazy. He
They
did see
actually
that
saw
shit.
this movie.
He did see the fucking Jesus singing.
But yep, that was this episode. We're gonna give you a part 2 soon.
Yep.
And if you love us, listen to this ad.
All right.